Night of streaming. Tonight we're just going to be doing a PowerWash simulator because the maps we have to do are take a pretty long time. I'm going to start out with the forest cottage, and then I'm going to do the fire station after that because the fire station takes the longest. Let me adjust my camera a little bit. Okay, let's go ahead and get right into this. Now, I bought some upgrades for this since it's gonna be a while since I need like 90 stars to get the next washer. I mainly bought the extensions and well, I pretty much bought everything I could buy for it. Okay. I bought both extensions. The third one won't be unlocked until we get to the mayor's house. And I bought the soap dispenser, which I've never really used. Oh, and I bought the swirling head, the one that spins around. I'm missing like a speck of dust somewhere. This is a nifty little cottage. I wouldn't want to live anywhere near here, though, since it's pretty obvious the thing causing all this trouble is the volcano. Okay. think I have all the labeling right, well done right. Did anybody ever actually split wood with an axe? I've split logs like this, but not using an axe. I used a wedge and a sledgehammer. Oh, we're almost done with the wall. And we are done with the wall. Let's go ahead and start high and then move low. You know, I don't think I'd expect this house to last long because this wood doesn't look like it was treated. It's gonna rot away. Back up to the edge of it. And then we will use the shorter attachment. Might just change to the longer attachment. Oh wow, I didn't expect that to finish like that. I thought I'd have to go down and do the sides of it. Okay. Move over to the base of this to do this part. No, not base, but the tip. The base would be down there. Okay, slightly longer. Go ahead and head over to this side and do this side now. Oh, what's up, man? I don't know why, hearing top of the morning made me want to yawn. Let me have some of my tea real quick. Yeah, I'm mixing 3 types of tea together: black tea, green tea, and ginger tea. About as much as regular, I think. I'm not sure. It's just 3 tea bags in a thing of water. Yeah, I just really like the taste of it. everybody else who tries it says they don't like it, but I think they're just crazy because it tastes good. But these are the same people that told me that lemon pepper wasn't spicy. Lemon pepper is spicy. Well, it's hot sauce, of course it's going to burn your tongue. Otherwise it wouldn't be called hot sauce. I don't know, I've always been sensitive to like chilies and peppers. I'm able to have table pepper no problem, but any other type of pepper and it's almost a nightmare to me. Jalapenos are the things that burnt me the most when I was a kid, because my dad used to always sneak them into like the food and the pizza. Yeah, I'm not sure all families are like this, but basically if my family finds out you aren't good with spicy stuff, or if you have a sunburn or something like that, my family is the type that'll come up and smack the sunburn. You guys got that much and you actually finished it off? Damn. When I was a kid, well, after the age of 6, we mainly had fast food every night. On rare occasions, we'd have like Hamburger Helper or Sloppy Joes. There's a place you can get them that's not homemade. I've never found any place that sells them. I've never seen pre-made sloppy joes that or do you mean the pre-made canned sauce? I think I have maybe like 2 Walmarts within like 5 minutes of me. But neither of them sell pre-made ones. They sell like cans of sloppy joe mix, but they don't sell it already mixed with the meat and everything. I find it funny that there's 2 Walmarts within 5 fucking minutes, and they're both actually doing good. They're both making good sales. There used to be a Target around me. I don't think there is anymore. The Target that I knew isn't there anymore. But there was like a fast food place, I'm not sure if it's fast food, but there was a food place connected to Target that we used to eat at, and they always had fucking jalapenos with the food. I don't even remember what the food was, but I remember there was jalapenos. The one, the regular Walmart around me, I believe, has a McDonald's, and either that or, well, it has a McDonald's and a taco. Well, not McDonald's and a Del Taco, I think. And I don't think the 24-hour Walmart has a fast food place. I used to work at a Shell station that was attached um to a Del Taco, so got pretty used to their food because I got it for free. Oh, you don't have a 24-hour Walmart? We've got one that I know of, but again, that's like within 5 minutes. Right there. Oh, I'm gonna have to check if mine is still open then, because I haven't been to it in a long time. I just got to the point where I just family carded everything. Holy crap, your last Del Taco closed? That sucks. I really like Del Taco's fries. They'd basically take one of their largest cups, cut a hole in the bottom of it, and fill up the cup with fries. Yeah, I started having Del Taco a lot because, well, as I said, I got free food from them. A huge fight broke out one night because some customers weren't happy. Well, basically some drunk teenagers weren't happy that the Del Taco was closed. So they decided they wanted to start something, and basically a huge fight broke out. Yeah, those kids that started the fight were idiots. Uh, Two of them were Mexican and one of them was black. And this happened in a place called Lytle Creek. Basically, the Shell station I worked at is right at the base of that place. And Lytle Creek is a huge redneck area. I never really cared much about that sort of shit, but you have to be smart to know where you are before you start dumb shit. Yeah, originally it was just me and the Del Taco employees. But the second people noticed the fight going on, basically people started popping up out of everywhere. Just imagine a bunch of redneck crackheads going fight, fight, fight. Well, not crackheads, tweakers. Yeah, I used the wrong word there. Damn it. Now I'm gonna have to be creative with that window then. But basically, because I helped them out in the fight when it originally had nothing to do with me, basically the shift manager told me, anytime I go there, free food. Well, then your coworker or your friend or whoever the hell he was is an idiot. If you fight at jobs like that, they'll can your ass. Even if it's self-defense, you're not allowed to fight back. Yeah, I'd say it was fucking stressful. Unfortunately, there's a bunch of idiots like that in this world. You just have to get used to it and learn how to avoid them. It's even worse at bars. It's kind of funny and ironic in a way, because even when I got a job as a bouncer and one of my jobs was as a bouncer, another one was as a security guard. The only thing I was allowed to do was a restrain. I wasn't allowed to actually fight. And if they tried to fight, I had to retreat, and I couldn't actually fight at all if I couldn't restrain them right away. Basically, I had to immediately call on 911 if a fight broke out, because I wasn't technically allowed to do anything but restrain. Which makes me wonder how all these fucking security guards are quick to attack people at like Winco and Costco and shit. Because I've seen their security guards attacking shoppers and shit, even elderly, and you're not allowed to do that. At least not here in California. I got bad news for you. No matter where you go, there's always going to be way more stupid people than smart people. Way more stupid people than average intelligence people, and I think basically maybe 5 people are stupid. Well, out of every 10 people you meet, 5 people will be stupid. Maybe 4 people will be average intelligence, and 1 person will be smart. Yeah, it's sad. In our society, mindless violence kind of out trumps intelligence. That sounds good. Yeah, I've never really been all that much into like coffees. Um, I got put off of them at an early age because of my dad. My dad basically had to start every day with a coffee. Make himself an entire pot every morning. I drink it, but only when somebody gives me one. So get this, when I was a baby, I started crying because apparently I was hungry or thirsty or something. Instead of getting up, my dad took his cold coffee, poured it in my bottle, and fed it to me. On the plus side, that confirms that coffee doesn't stunt your growth like they used to say it did. Okay. And how much of this do I still have to do? I think the funny thing is, I remember this map is a pretty quick map. No, I never noticed the moon in this game before. Looks like that part's all done. Okay, run over here real quick. the little area there. Okay, let's see what we missed. Windows, window frame, and timber pillars. No, that answers that. Which window and window frame did I miss? That one. And we have completed another one. Let's see how many stars we're at. We need around 90 stars to pick up the next power washer. And we are at 60. We need another 30. Okay. Ooh. I don't know why, but I really like this SUV. I kind of want to find one in real life and get myself one. I changed the color. Maybe a combination of black and red. Okay. Let's see. Bumpers, fog lights, and wing mirrors. All done. Okay, let's see, where are we at? I'm gonna do half the fire station, and then I think I'm gonna play a little bit of Vampire Survivors. I'm gonna butcher. I'm gonna butcher your name, but you, Yumimi, Yumimi. What's up, man? I'll check out your Twitter after I get done with the stream. Yeah, I know better than to look, well, to load without looking first now. Hey. Yeah, not a lot of topics I can think of right now. The only thing that seems to come to my mind is basically the last thing that I watched was something about Ukraine and something about Venezuela. Speaking of stupid people in Venezuela, you hear that, have you heard that they tried to block a U.S. carrier, fleet? Apparently they thought it was just a, they originally thought it was just a single destroyer, but when they showed up, It was an entire carrier fleet. But you'd think the lessons from like Japan and Iran would be enough for people to understand not to mess with American boats. My stream's down? Just a second. Let me check. No, it's up. It's running. Oh, Steam is down. Okay, okay. I thought you said the stream was down. Are you still able to go into there's a hostage? Oh, outage. Or are you still able to do offline login for Steam so you can still access your games? Yeah, I'm not sure if that's still a thing. It used to be. Then again, you used to be able to log on to Minecraft offline too, but when I tried to log into Minecraft offline, it wouldn't let me, I think a few weeks ago. So I don't know if Steam did something similar to what, what are all the games servers and stuff through, well, most games should have, their own servers. They shouldn't be through Steam. That'd be fucked if it was that way. Wait a minute, let me check something. It must just be Steam in your area. My Steam is still up. Damn, 4,580. Well, that isn't really much, because I think Steam has, what, a few million now? Well, a few 100 million? Well, it's not much unless you're one of the ones that are down, then it is much. Okay, I think instead of doing Vampire Survivors, after I'm done with the part of the fire station I'm gonna do, I'm gonna watch the Fatty Electrician instead. Give me a second here. The steam valve. Okay, there's 27,869 people online right now. .7% online. Where does it say the outage is? Or it might be because their downtime in their servers, their server maintenance is causing it. And that would explain why it's only happening in certain places. Um, just a second. Now that sucks. I think most of my game library is actually on Steam. I got very few games that are not on Steam on my computer. It's been a long time since actually seen Steam go down. I'm not sure if it's gone down at all in the last 10 months, but before that I think it was at least a year or so, maybe even more, the last time it went down. Yeah, somebody wasn't happy with their new controllers and stuff, so they're DDoSing Steam. That's obviously a joke. I wonder if DDoSing is even still a thing. Because you used to be able to crash Counter-Strike servers and Minecraft servers with it. Okay. Yeah, most of this map can be done by the, well, from the ground. Right now I'm just trying to get the spots that you can't get from the ground. Okay. So how's it going? Any good news about Steam, or has it shut down more? It went down 6 days ago? Fuck. I did not know that. Oh, that's usually when I go to sleep is late morning. It's kind of funny when you think about it, with how far our technology and our gaming shit has gone. It can still be taken down by DDoS attacks. Oh, apparently something else I heard today. Basically with our technology how it is today, it's making people dumber. It's the general public's basically common uh, average spelling ability has gone down, and our 3D spatial ability has gone down. Basically, being able to figure out direction, mainly because of autocorrect and GPS. Yeah. Well, the yellow cabs used to basically be the only ones driving, so they knew the city the best. They knew the rhythms, since their life involved driving. Are yellow cabs even still a thing? Oh yeah, I know that. My freaking nephews and nieces are constantly on their fucking phones. And they're supposed to be doing their fucking chores. I have yet to be to New York. I've been through quite a few places, and I've been to like Texas, Arizona, Nevada, but I've driven through quite a few states with one of my friends. He's a cross-country trucker, and basically sometimes he wants company with him. So if any of us have time off or anything like that, we'd agree to go with him sometimes. But that's mainly just seeing the different scenes from the freeway and the places around the freeway. Yeah, it was weird to see him when I got out of the hospital, because he was always small. Well, he gained a little bit of weight, but not much. When he got older, but when I saw him after getting out of the hospital, we were like 5 pounds apart from each other. Yeah, so I basically lost weight, he gained weight, and we kind of met each other in the middle. Well, he said he's gonna start trying to exercise a bit more, so hopefully he actually does it, because I've known this guy since like the second semester of 7th grade, so I don't need him passing away on me. Yeah, it's funny. The thing that brought us together is I went up to him at the time, a complete stranger, and asked him if I could borrow a Game Boy game from him. Legend of Zelda. And he actually loaned it to me without even knowing who the hell I was. And we basically built a friendship around him loaning me that game. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and call PowerWash here, and I'm gonna watch some Fatty Electrician. All I have left to do is the drill tower, and it'll take just as long as this is taking. Hard to believe that little thing there can take as long as this. Oh, I'm gonna stream. I'm gonna stream it, so I'll still be on. So if you want to say anything, just well, I'll still be able to read it. Ah, it's only like a 19-minute video.
Yes.
Yeah, it's basically a video on Operation Praying Mantis. It's a naval operation that took place back in the 80s. If you haven't watched him before, I highly recommend watching the Fatty Electrician. He's hilarious.
Yes, the time.
Oh, let me do this.
That the U.S. Navy got upset and destroyed half of Iran's entire naval fleet in a single 8-hour workday.
Yeah,
Today we're talking about Operation.
Yeah, my grandfather was a Navy drill instructor, so I kind of got a soft spot for the Navy.
Praying Mantis. But real quick, this video is sponsored by Zydax Custom Gaming PCs. They are all built right here in America with American-based tech support and a lifetime warranty. It's the computer that I use and the one that I would recommend. I'll have them linked down below if you want to check them out. Let's get to this video. All right, important background info. 1980, Iraq decided to invade Iran. Why? Don't really care. Not pertinent to the story. However, at the end of that war, Iran decides, hey, we're going to pull a page out of the
This is the rewatch. I've seen this before.
Supply lines, deprive the enemy of nice things. It's going to work out great. Iraq's got a weak navy. We're going to wipe out their navy, and then every time they send out an oil tanker through the Persian Gulf, we're going to blow that up. So they can't sell any liquid dinosaur. They can't make any money. They go broke. We win the war. Hooray. It's a solid plan.
Yep.
So they do exactly that. Then Kuwait comes out of left field and they're like, hey, we've been financially backing Iraq through this entire war for the past 7 years. We need to make sure they win so we can get our money back. So we're going to go ahead and let Iraq use our oil tankers to export oil. So Iran is like, well, that's an easy problem to solve. I'll just blow up all the Kuwaiti oil tankers as well, which is exactly what they do. But here's the catch. Kuwait at this point in time is like, like the one major exporter of oil that wasn't really part of OPEC, meaning that they were selling oil on the global market significantly cheaper than everybody else, driving down the entire oil market. And now that their oil tankers are getting blown up as well, it means that Kuwait can no longer sell oil on the cheap, meaning that Iran has now inadvertently committed the cardinal sin of the late 20th century, raising gas prices.
Yeah.
Now the entire Western world.
Yeah, I
looks
last
over the
watched
Persian
this
Gulf
years
like,
ago.
The fuck? The ghost of Sun Tzu's sitting there shaking his head like that's the one exception. I would have messed with any supply line except for that one because we all know what happens next.
Around when it first came out. When the hell was it? Yeah, literally about 2 years ago.
Yeah, America then proceeds to assemble the largest naval convoy operation since World War II, send them into the Persian Gulf to protect Kuwaiti oil tankers. It is at this moment that Iran should have been
cool
like, well,
tattoos.
that's unfortunate, time to figure out plan B because this obviously is not going to work out. However, they decide that they're going to double down. What they're going to do is they're going to take a bunch of magnetic underwater mines and they're just going to spread them out all over the Persian Gulf in international waters, and that's not going to have any consequences at all.
Yep,
so fast
none at
forward
all.
April 14th, 1988, the USS Samuel B. Roberts, a guided missile frigate, which is basically brand new at this point. This is like its first big operation, is out
That's
there
actually a
escorting a
picture of the
Kuwaiti oil
boat.
tanker, and it runs into a minefield, hits a mine, blows up the keel of the ship. The keel is this bottom part right here. It like supports and stabilizes the structure of the entire ship, and it gets blown completely in half. At this point, the only thing holding this boat together is the actual deck. 1 second, everything's fine. The next second, there's a 15-foot wide hole in the bottom of your ship. Everything's on fire and water is rushing in. The USS Samuel B. Roberts took on half of
That's
its
enough
weight
to
in
scare
water
me
in
out of
first
the
minute.
ocean.
This is a catastrophic amount of damage that would sink 99% of ships, but as fate would have it, the crew of the USS Samuel B. Roberts had already been winning competitions for having the best damage control crew in the Navy. So the entire crew gets to work. They're putting out fires, they're plugging holes, they're literally cinching the hull together with steel cables trying to stabilize it because the only thing holding it together is a deck at this point. Over the course of the next 5 hours, the entire crew fights their ass off and somehow manages to get the situation under control and limp.
Fuck, 5 hours of the fear of having your ship sink. Trying everything you can just to keep it afloat.
The ship all the way back to Dubai where they can get it to a port. And the most incredible part of all of it, not a single American was killed. Only 10 men were injured during the fire and the initial
That's
explosion.
practically
so
a fucking
the crew
miracle
survived.
after what
the boat's
happened.
basically completely destroyed. Then America sends in an underwater crew, figure out what happened. They find the remnants of the mine. They check out the other mines. Yep, they're Iranian. At this point, now somebody has to inform the president because this is a big deal. And the president at this point in time is, let me check my notes, fucking Ronald Reagan.
Oh yeah,
I'm from
this
the
scene.
government and I'm here to help.
So they go ahead and they brief Ronald Reagan
some
on everything
reason,
that
that's
happened.
really
He's super happy that everybody survived, and he's like, okay,
not
well, here's what we're going to
reassuring.
do. We're going to issue a proportional response. And what the U.S. Navy heard was, awesome. All right, so here's the plan. Iran currently has 3 oil rigs in the Persian Gulf that are not being used for drilling oil, but as military bases for their naval operations. So the U.S. Navy is going to go ahead and take out all 3 of those. Now, I don't really know what the guided missile frigate to oil rig exchange ratio is, but we're going to go ahead and err on the side of caution and say that it's not quite proportional enough yet. So Iran also really only has like 2 modern naval vessels. That's the Iranian frigate Sahand and the Iranian frigate Sabatland. They're going to go ahead and take out at least one of those,
so he's
maybe
using
both.
actual
We'll see how
pictures of the
proportional they want to get. And then by the
ships and
time they
stuff.
get all that done, that should be a nice 8-hour work day. It'll be time to clock out and go get some ice cream. So in order to get all this done by quitting time, they're going to go ahead and establish 3 different surface attack groups. Each group is going to have 2 destroyers and 1 bonus ship. That bonus ship is either going to be an amphibious landing ship or a frigate. Either way, they're all going to be identified as Bravo, Charlie, and Delta. Bravo group is tasked with taking out 2 oil rigs. Charlie group is tasked with taking out the 1 remaining oil rig. And Delta's mission is to go hunt down those 2 frigates and take them out. And then, just for insurance purposes, we're also going to have the USS Enterprise parked right outside the Persian Gulf to provide air support, you know, in case we need it. So, April 18th, 1988, 4 days after the mining of the USS Samuel B. Roberts, Operation Pragmatis goes into full swing, and Bravo Group shows up at their oil rig first. At which point, they radio over to the oil rig and inform them that they will be blowing it up in 5 minutes and that they should all leave. So, a bunch of people start leaving. They hop in tugboats and take off. Bravo Group, saying they're making an honest effort to actually evacuate, agrees to give them 15 more minutes. So, fast forward 20 minutes later, they send out another radio message, hey, time's up. They then fire the 5-inch guns right over the top of the oil rig with the rounds set to airburst hopefully scaring off any stragglers. And it is at this point that some Iranian military member decides that he is going to audition to be the main character of this story because he hops on a 23mm anti-aircraft gun and opens fire on Bravo Group. And without skipping a beat, one of the 5-inch guns on one of the destroyers just goes poof, and just fucking direct hit smokes this dude. Barely touches the rest of the oil rig. This guy, definitely not the main character, but the silver lining, he at least made it into the credits as Baloney Miss Cloud #1. Now, obviously, I'm paraphrasing here, but at this point, Bravo Group radios over to the oil rig one last time, something along the lines of, hey, does anybody else need to find out what it's like to chew 5 gum? Or are you fuckers ready to quit? The oil rig finally radios back and is like, yeah, please cease fire. We're gonna leave. So all the Iranian military members leave. Bravo Group decides to open up on it for a little bit with the 5-inch guns before sending over a couple of Hueys full of Marines. The Marines hop out, place some demo charges, hop back on the helicopters, take off. The entire oil rig blows up, and already things are getting more proportional.
Oh fuck, an actual video of the oil rig.
And while all that was happening, Charlie Group made it to their first oil rig as well, and pretty much the exact same thing played out. The only differences were Charlie Group didn't have Marines to place the demo charges, they had Navy SEALs, and when the Iranians opened up with the 23mm anti-aircraft guns, they just decided to keep firing 5-inch shells at the oil platform until it burst into flames and burnt the entire thing to the ground. At which point, the commander of the destroyer kind of looks over at the Navy SEALs and is like, sorry, I guess you guys get to sit this one out.
Oh, mission got canceled? Good.
And while all that's going down, Bravo Group's already making their way over to the third oil rig, at which point they pick up something on radar, and it's definitely another enemy ship headed right towards them. And at this point, you have to remember, this is the late 1980s. None of the American sailors have seen naval warfare on this scale. The pucker factor is on. They are getting harpoon missiles ready, and they are about to get in like one of the biggest naval fights since World War II. At which point, whoever's in charge of Bravo Group decides to take a deep breath, and they're like, okay, let's send up a helicopter real quick just to verify that it's actually an enemy ship. So the helicopter goes up, radios back to Bravo Group. It's definitely a warship, but it's a Soviet destroyer. At which point everybody's like, what? What is happening right now? So they radio over to this Russian destroyer and they're like, what are your intentions? And the Russian commander radios back in broken English. I swear to God, this is a real quote. I'm just here to take pictures for history. Look, I know that I bash on the Soviet Union and communism every single chance I get, but this time around, I gotta give it to them. These guys know how to party. Just straight up rolling into the middle of the largest naval operation since World War II to eat popcorn and watch. It's incredible. At this point, Iran finally figures out that there's something going on, but they don't really know what, so they just begin attacking any ship they can find, and the first ship they found was a civilian cargo ship called the Willie Tide.
So
then
they begin attacking with
Boghammer-style speedboats. So the Willie Tide radios for help, the USS Enterprise responds by sending up a bunch of A-6 intruders, as well as F-14 Tomcats. The A-6 intruders show up, start dropping cluster bombs, they end up hitting one of the speedboats and scattering the rest. The civilian cargo ship is saved, hooray. Cutting back to Charlie Group, now there's an Iranian fast attack ship coming right at them. So they radio over like, hey, yeah, we're kind of going around blowing up all your stuff, but also we've got a very specific list. You're not on it. So how about you just go away and we'll forget we saw you. The Iranian fast attack ship messages back, sounds good, we'll do that. And then they just keep driving right towards them. And then this Iranian fast attack ship gets within like 15 miles of Charlie Group, which is like point blank range for a naval battle. Charlie Group radios again, dude, what are you doing? To which they respond, I'm following orders. And then they...
Okay, so an Iranian fast attack ship continued advancing towards 2 fucking destroyers? Well, it's obvious what their main objective is when they choose their soldiers. Stupidity.
They proceeded to lock their radar on Charlie Group, which Charlie Group can see. At which point Charlie Group immediately launches 5 missiles directly at the Iranian vessel. The Iranian vessel fires a harpoon missile back at Charlie Group. Both groups now have missiles in the air screaming towards one another. The Americans launch countermeasures, shooting up chaff rockets that end up catching the harpoon missile, detonating it in midair. The Iranian vessel, on the other hand, did not have any countermeasures capable of stopping the newer technology behind the American missiles, and it would end up getting sunk pretty much immediately. Then, before anybody can really even fully...
How many millions of dollars was that one attack, those 5 missiles?
digest what just happened, radar picks up 3 Iranian F-4s screaming towards Charlie Group. Charlie Group then turns,
Well, not
fires a
3
bunch of
Iranian
surface-to-air missiles
F4s
at the
anymore.
F4s. The F4s see them coming. They're like, oh shit. They pop a U-turn and try to outrun them. F4s, while they are
Yeah, do
extremely
the same
fast,
thing.
can't outrun missiles. So one of the missiles ends up blowing a wing off one of the F4s. Now America has taken out an entire naval
What was
vessel
once
and an
3
F4
is
that
now
they did
2.
not plan on taking out, and it's throwing off all of our proportions. And because of that, American leadership orders Bravo Group to stand down. We're not going to go take out that third oil rig. And right as soon as that order gets given out, Delta Group chimes in, is like, hey, we found that frigate we were looking for. So now nobody knows what to do, because on one hand, things are already getting out of control, but on the other hand, we really want to take out these frigates. So American leadership decides, well, we might not even have to make a hard decision. Maybe that's not even the frigate and the radar's wrong. Why don't you go ahead and send a couple A6 intruders over, do a flyby. They can verify that it's actually this new
Sounds
modern
good.
frigate. And if it is, we'll make a decision from there. Or so they thought, because the A6 pilots are about to decide that they are, in fact, the main characters
Okay,
of this
doesn't
story.
sound quite
You
as
see,
good
the
now.
USS Enterprise and its aircraft aren't really supposed to be doing a whole lot. They're more or less just there for insurance. In fact, they're only allowed to engage the enemy under one of two conditions. One, the President of the United States signs off on it, which is actually what happened with the speedboats earlier. Or two, they get fired upon first. So they got told to go fly by this boat to verify that it is in fact the new modern frigate, but they didn't get told how to fly by the boat.
Oh, I
so
see
they
where this
drop
is
down
going.
50 feet above the water and just gun it, and they buzz the entire ship. So the ship opens fire with its AA guns, but these planes are so low to the water, the AA guns can't actually aim down low enough, so all the anti-aircraft fire
Fuck, how
goes
much
right over
knowledge
the
must
top
they
of them.
have about
they
the
continue to
ships
stay
to
low enough till they get out of
be able to
anti-aircraft
predict
gun
that?
range, and then they pull up, at which point the ship launches a bunch of surface-to-air missiles at them. They drop chaff as a countermeasure, takes care of those, no big deal. They then go around, do a U-turn, send a radio message to this frigate, I'm going to sink you now, which they can now
Yep.
legally do,
They fired
because
first.
remember, the ship fired on them first.
Victim to one of the classic blunders.
So the A6 fires an anti-ship harpoon missile, and the second they pull the trigger on that, the fire control team from the USS Enterprise is like, what the fuck are you doing? We're not supposed to be killing things yet. And the A6s are like, look, they fired at us first. Them's the rules. And the USS Enterprise is like, holy shit, okay, I guess.
They're asking
Let them
for
have
it.
it. Then the harpoon missile finally makes impact. It's a bullseye. The A6s do a U-turn, go, drop another 500-pound laser-guided bomb right through the deck of this frigate, fly past it, do another U-turn, come back, drop a 1,000-pound bomb on it. Then they radio over
What?
the Enterprise and like, yeah, it's definitely gonna sink. We're gonna head back. So the A6s take off, headed back to the Enterprise, and like 5 minutes later, Delta Group shows up with their warships and begin firing on the already sinking frigate. They hit the magazine, the frigate explodes, rapidly sinks to the ocean floor. At this point, naval leadership is like, okay, Jesus Christ, everybody stop killing things. We need
I swear, it's almost like their harpoon missiles and their 500 and 1,000 pound missiles and 5-inch shells had an expiration date or something. They're in such a hurry to use them.
to figure out what all happened. We got to keep this proportional, remember. So they start radioing back and forth. Everybody's figuring out what everybody did, if anybody's hurt, what's going on, the whole story. And then as the A6s are making their way back to the USS Enterprise, guess what they happen to fly past? The other modern frigate. So now the
Victim
entire US
number 2?
Navy's looking at this last frigate like SpongeBob looking at a jug of water.
Oh, I remember this part. I need it!
But also, like, realistically speaking, the A6s are pretty much out of ammunition. The only thing they have left are 2,000-pound bombs, and those just aren't going to be enough by themselves without a harpoon missile to take down this ship anyways, so they really are just going to fly by and verify that it's the modern frigate. So the A6 intruders go ahead, they do their flyby. It is in fact the new frigate that they thought it was, and it does in fact open fire on the A6s. A6s make it out completely
more rocket
unscathed,
scientists, more
at which point
geniuses.
they pop a U-turn, and one of the A6 pilots is like,
It's the bullseye womp rats in my T-16 back home.
So the A6 pulls up, gaining altitude, and then dives down, aims its nose right at the frigate at like a
Suicide
35-degree angle. They're doing a good old-fashioned dive bombing run like it's fucking World War II. The AA guns start firing, there's bullets whizzing past the plane, but they're committed now. They're closing in, The bombardier behind the pilot lets the pilot know, hey, I'm locked on. At which point, bombs away, the pilot pulls up, and the bomb goes
I
right
remember now,
down
I
the
remember.
fucking smokestack of this boat.
Yeah.
Blows up, completely destroying the entire engine room. That frigate is now dead in the water with no power. The A6s go ahead and radio in that they have completely disabled this frigate, at which point the American
took out
leadership
your
calls
shit.
a complete ceasefire. They're going to go ahead and let that frigate survive, get towed off, potentially be repaired. With the US Navy having effectively disabled or destroyed over half of Iran's functioning navy, the US military decides to call it a good day, ends Operation Praying Mantis, we all get to live happily ever after. Except, later that night, Iran decided that they wanted to fight a little bit more, and they launched a bunch of Silkworm anti-ship missiles at American vessels. Luckily, no American vessels were actually hit. However, this is now a huge political problem because America has been mad at the fact that Iran even had Silkworm missiles for years at this point, and the American government has made it very clear to Iran that if they ever used them, they would be going to war with America. Period. That's set in stone. So the Reagan administration, not wanting to kick off World War III in the 1980s, reaches out to the Iranian government and is like, here's what's going to happen. You're going to go ahead and admit that that was an accident. I'm going to sweep it under the rug and we're never going to talk about it again. Because if this makes headline news and the American people find out, I'm going to have to get real proportional around here. So Iran's like, okay, fine, whatever. It was an accident. Let's sweep that whole thing under the rug. But I am still going to take America to international court to try to prove that it was a war crime to take out my oil rigs. That way I can get reparations and make America pay for it. So they go to international court. They lay out the case. The international court is looking at America like, okay, well, first of all,
I remember
you're the
the
fraction
sword pitch.
people. I don't know how you think
pitch.
that this is proportional, but it definitely wasn't. Second of all, according to the Amity Act, you absolutely should not have attacked their oil rigs. This is probably a war crime. At which point the representative for America is like, well, actually, if you read the Amity Treaty between Iran and the United States, it only talks about ships and boats. It don't say shit about oil rigs, meaning I wasn't obligated to not attack those oil rigs. At which point the court is like, hold on.
Oil rigs aren't ships or boats.
Fucking, he's right, son of a bitch. Okay, well, I guess America's innocent, because I've said it once and I'll say it again. It's never a war crime the first time.
Yeah,
and now for the best part of the entire story. America now proceeds to go over to Dubai, pick up what's left of the USS Samuel B. Roberts, tow it all the way back to Maine, then take the ship out of the water, get it in dry dock, cut out the entire damaged section of the ship, including the engine compartment, build another module to fit in its place. This thing weighs like 300 tons. They jack it up, weld it right where it's at, get everything rehooked up, reconnected. And this boat is back out on the ocean 1 year later on April 1st, 1989.
Oh, I love the day it was recommissioned, April 1st.
It then goes on to get recommissioned and serves in the Navy until 2015. I mean, playing Battleship against America's gotta suck, right? Like, haha, I've sunk your frigate, and America's like, first of all, no you didn't. Second of all, fuck your entire Navy as it picks up your board and just throws it at the wall. So in conclusion, if you do ever find yourself being the leader of a foreign nation one day, the best advice that I can possibly give you is A, do whatever you can to not raise gas prices, and B, whatever you do not fuck with America's boats. We do not like that shit. Thank you for watching. The best way to support the channel is like, comment, subscribe, maybe go buy some merch at thefatelectrician.com. Quack, bang, out.
Definitely gonna like. Okay, guys, that's it for me tonight. I will see you guys tomorrow night. It was fun. I had quite a bit of fun tonight. And it was nice talking to you, I want to say I keep wanting to say Akuma, but it's probably Arkuma. Because there's Akuma on D. Gray, man, an anime. And that's what I always associate your name with. I'll see you later, man.